They said he was slow. They said he was broken. He didn't speak until he was 4. He failed his entrance exams. He was expelled from school. And yet, he went on to become the man who redefined reality. The man whose mind bent time and space. The man whose name became synonymous with genius. His name was Albert Einstein. I want you to pause, because this story, Einstein's story, is not just about science. It's not just about equations or atoms or E=mc². It's about the power of standing out. It's about the magic of being misunderstood. It's about how the world treats the different. Until the different change the world. Einstein's life isn't a textbook chapter. It's a mirror reflecting your untapped potential. It's a roadmap for anyone who's ever felt lost, underestimated, or out of place. So if you've ever been told you're not enough, if you've ever been made to feel like an outsider, if you've ever questioned your worth, then listen closely, because the man you're about to meet didn't fit in either. And that's exactly why he became unforgettable. Albert Einstein was born in 1879 in Ulm, Germany. And from the start, he was different. He didn't speak in full sentences until the age of 4. His parents were concerned. His teachers thought he was mentally handicapped. They said he was too quiet, too distracted, too slow. In school, Albert struggled with rigid instruction. He hated rote memorization. He defied authority. One of his teachers even told him, "You'll never amount to anything." Imagine hearing that as a child. Imagine the sting. Now imagine refusing to believe it. Albert didn't learn like everyone else because he didn't think like everyone else. While other kids were answering questions, Einstein was asking new ones. What if you could ride a beam of light? What if time isn't fixed? What if gravity isn't a force, but a curve in space? At just 16 years old, these were the thoughts running through his mind. Not facts, visions. Einstein would later say, "Imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited. Imagination encircles the world." And that's your first lesson. Your value doesn't come from how fast you learn. It comes from how deeply you think. The world measures intelligence with grades, degrees, and awards. Einstein measured it with curiosity. After high school, Albert failed the entrance exam to the Polytechnic Institute in Zurich. He passed math and physics, but failed the general education portion. Rejected, he reapplied and got in the next year. But even with his degree, he couldn't land a teaching job. No university would hire him. Imagine having ideas that could change the world and no one will give you a chance. So what did he do? He worked as a clerk in a patent office, filing inventions, typing documents, stuck in the background while his mind roared with questions. And here's where most people quit. Here's where doubt wins. But not Einstein. Every lunch break, every evening he studied. He scribbled equations. He imagined entire worlds inside his head. Then, in 1905, working a regular 9 to 5, he exploded onto the scene. That year, Einstein published 4 revolutionary papers. One of them included a tiny formula you may have heard of, E=mc². It changed physics forever. Mass and energy are the same. Time is not fixed. Light behaves like a particle in a wave. Reality was no longer what we thought it was. And just like that, the patent clerk became the scientist the world couldn't ignore. Here's the second lesson. You don't need a title to have talent. You don't need permission to make an impact. Einstein's breakthroughs didn't come from a lab. They came from his belief that imagination, paired with relentless effort, can shake the world. As Einstein's ideas spread, so did the fame. The shy, awkward thinker became a global icon. But with recognition came responsibility and resistance. Many scientists rejected his theories. Religious leaders called him dangerous. Governments saw him as a threat. He was Jewish in a time when anti-Semitism was rising. His pacifist views made him unpopular during wartime. He was watched, tracked, threatened, and yet he kept thinking, kept writing, kept speaking out, not just on science, but on peace, civil rights, and education. When Hitler rose to power, Einstein fled to America. He left behind everything, his homeland, his status, even some family members, because truth meant more than comfort. Then came a moral dilemma, the atomic bomb. It was Einstein's theories that helped make it possible. And though he didn't build the bomb, he felt responsible for its power. He spent the rest of his life advocating for disarmament, for peace, for global unity. This leads us to a third powerful lesson. Being great isn't just about brilliance. It's about conscience. Einstein didn't use his genius to dominate. He used it to elevate humanity. What are you doing with your gifts? Behind the equations was a deeply human man. He played the violin when he was stressed. He walked barefoot through the halls of Princeton. He forgot socks. He refused luxury. He didn't chase wealth. He chased wisdom. When people asked him how to raise smarter children, he said, "Read them fairy tales. And when they grow up, read them more fairy tales." He valued wonder over memorization, questions over answers, simplicity over arrogance. He once said, "If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough." He believed that knowledge meant nothing if it wasn't shared humbly. Even at the end of his life, Einstein turned down political power, declined a position as president of Israel, and chose to remain a teacher, a thinker, a seeker of truth. And that's your fourth lesson. True intelligence isn't loud. It's quiet. It listens more than it speaks. Einstein didn't shout. He didn't flaunt. He didn't compete. He served. So here's the truth. You don't have to be Einstein to learn from him. You don't need a degree to be curious. You don't need approval to question everything. You don't need genius to leave a mark. You just need courage. The courage to think differently. To believe that what makes you weird may just be what makes you wonderful. Let this be your reminder. You can fail and still become a legend. You can be doubted and still change the world. You can be quiet and still lead revolutions. Einstein's life is proof that you don't have to fit in to stand out. So whatever path you're on, if you feel behind, keep going. If you feel invisible, keep showing up. If you feel misunderstood, lean into it. That difference may be your destiny. If this story stirred something inside you, don't just let it fade. Take that feeling and act on it. Hit the subscribe button, not just for more stories like this, but because the next one might be the spark you need to take your life to the next level. Click the bell icon. We're uploading videos like this every single week. And every week, we're lighting a fire inside people who are ready to rise. Share this video with someone who feels lost or misunderstood or stuck, because you might be the person who reignites their journey. And here's the truth most people won't say. If you leave this video inspired, but take no action, you've robbed yourself. But if you take one step, if you make one decision, if you start one new habit, that's how revolutions begin. Einstein once said, "The world as we have created, it is a process of our thinking. It cannot be changed without changing our thinking." So change your thinking, and you'll change your world. This isn't just inspiration. This is your ignition. Be bold. Be curious. Be different.